Do you guys remember this video that Tesla released on April 1st of the Cybertruck crash test? In it, the impact was imminent at any moment, and you were on the edge of your seat the entire time waiting for it to happen, but it never actually happened. Well, we finally got to see those results during the Cybertruck delivery event, and I must admit that it looks absolutely horrifying, but probably not for the reasons that you are thinking there's a possible explanation for it. Been a significant amount of criticism directed toward these crash tests by internet experts. See what I did there? Who claim that the Cybertruck is extremely poorly designed and dangerous, and not only dangerous for the people on the receiving end of it, but also dangerous for the occupants inside as well. However, is any of this actually true? Well, at first glance, when you watch the video in isolation, it certainly appears as though it might be, particularly that full frontal crash, which I mean the truck. It was just traveling at a speed of 35 miles per hour while this test was being conducted. Yet look at how much force is being applied to the passengers. In fact, the back axle looks to be snapping in two, which is not anything that can be considered normal. Experts on the internet will tell you that the reason for this is because the body is made of stainless steel, which is so strong that it cannot collapse correctly in the event of a crash. This in turn channels the forces that are being applied straight onto the people who are inside the vehicle. Here is a video that one of the experts has created, comparing it to other trucks, which he says have actual crumple zones. This video got 52 million views and basically universal agreement in the comments that the Cybertruck is terribly designed and unsafe in every way possible. But what if I were to tell you, and I know this is going to sound completely crazy, but what if I were to tell you that these experts may not be experts at all, or even have any clue at all what they're talking about? That comparison video was put together using completely different crash tests. The Cybertruck is the only one here doing a full frontal crash, while the others are doing what is called the front overlap, which is when only about a third of the front hits the barrier, which makes it much easier to dissipate energy. Here is a more fair comparison showing it against one of the highly rated trucks for safety that you can purchase, the F-150, specifically the all-electric Lightning. Please do let me know if I'm missing anything. Something here, but I'm not seeing a significant difference between these two in the crumple zone. Where you will start to notice a bigger difference, however, is in the side impact test. This is a 3,100-pound car traveling nearly 40 miles per hour, which simulates a T-bone accident like someone running a red light in an intersection. Not only does the Cybertruck remain completely grounded due to its extremely low center of gravity and its weight, but it also appears to have nothing to do with the airbags going off. Like it may be able to just drive away. And here's that same test on the F-150. Which one of these would you rather be in? It's funny to me that people think that Tesla, the company responsible for designing and creating some of the safest cars on the planet, somehow forgot everything they learned with the Cybertruck. All you have to do is look underneath the front of it, and it should tell you everything you need to know. They most certainly did not forget, and I am aware that the front crash test seemed to be a failure. Nevertheless, you must realize that colliding with a movable item is the very worst possible situation, much more so than colliding with a brick wall or even in spite of the fact that the Cybertruck is made of space-grade steel and weighs 3.5 tons. There are not many things that can be moved against it. However, more on it will be discussed later. The one thing that cannot be forgiven, however, is the fact that the back axle broke during the front crash test. The reality is that it does not even have one. The Cybertruck actually uses rear wheel steering and does not have an axle connecting the rear wheels, which is probably why we saw it tow during the accident. Now that we have finished debunking some of the nonsense that I keep seeing out there, we can finally get into what makes the Cybertruck so terrifying, and what I am about to say is not just applicable to the Cybertruck. Trucks in general have been getting bigger and heavier for quite some time, which makes them increasingly dangerous for everyone around them. As is proven in the crash data, people seem to have drawn a line with the Cybertruck, saying that it is too dangerous. While I do agree with them in some aspects, this is America that we are talking about here, and a normal pickup truck these days, like the Ram 1500, can weigh up to 6,400 pounds, and a normal heavy-duty truck like the F-250 can weigh in at over 7,600 pounds. Both of these monstrosities are still considered to be extremely dangerous. It might appear barbaric to people who live in regions of the world that have stringent pedestrian safety standards, but the United States buys them up like crazy. Even people who have absolutely no need for a truck will get them because they want the biggest, baddest thing on the road. Believe me when I say that they are absolutely everywhere. To drive this point home even further, in the United States, you can go out and get something like this International CXT, which weighs in at a whopping. As for the Cybertruck, there is no getting around the fact that what Tesla has created is a checkmate in the quote-unquote. It weighs 14,500 pounds, and to add insult to injury, you don't even need a special license to drive it. This is complete and utter craziness. Tough Truck World, this automobile is essentially a street-legal tank that weighs around 6,800 pounds and is constructed out of space-grade stainless steel. However, in contrast to a typical tank, it can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.6 seconds, which is the most terrifying aspect of the vehicle for me and for many others. Everyone else on the road is that just like those trucks we looked at a second ago, anyone will be able to go out and buy one. I've gotten a ride in the Model S Plaid and remember thinking to myself that I can't believe a car that can accelerate this quickly doesn't require some kind of special license to drive. Because the amount of trouble you can get into if you're inexperienced or if you hold on to that accelerator pedal just a little bit too long is truly scary. Can get from 0 to high-speed accident in absolutely no time at all, which happens all the time, especially in Teslas, because they go, when you put your foot down, remember the pedal misapplication that happened in China where the driver just kept pressing harder and harder on the accelerator pedal thinking it was the brake. And trying to stop, 2 lives were lost in the incident, but now imagine if he had been driving a Cybertruck instead. A terrifying idea. It is true that instances similar to this won't occur far more often than you may believe they do. According to a study conducted by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration ATAT-SA, roughly 16,000 accidents like this one occur annually in the United States as a result of improper pedal application. This equates to 44 accidents per day for each pedal. It is a terrifying idea to think of missing an application in a Cybertruck. The company Tesla does take a lot of precautions to prevent anything like this from occurring. In fact, they have features built into the software of the car that will prevent it from happening, stop it when it detects a misapplication of the accelerator pedal, which has already probably saved a lot of lives, but humans will be humans and will always find a way. In summary, the Cybertruck scares me. But so do all the other trucks and giant SUVs on the road. It's hard to imagine that some 16-year-old TikToker can go out and buy something like this as their very first car without any real driving experience. But like I said, it is a problem that Tesla has created, and I do not believe that it is their responsibility to fix it. I mean, I did not hear anyone complaining about safety when the Hummer EV was released, which weighs literally more than a ton more and also does 0 to 60 extremely quickly. At least not in the same way that they are complaining about the Cybertruck. For all of you who are upset that something that is this dangerous can be allowed on our roads, I agree with you, but you have to realize there are a lot more dangerous things in these trucks that are currently on our roads. And my problem is that many of the people who are complaining about the Cybertruck are the same people who bought those big stupid trucks in the first place. When all they do is drop the kids off at school or go to the grocery store, they get a pass. If you are European, you get a pass, but I highly doubt that you will ever see one on the roads because it is extremely unlikely to pass your stringent pedestrian impact testing. Like these giant oversized vehicles are fundamentally unsafe for everybody around them. Who would have thought? But anyways, I think I'm gonna end my rant here. We'll have to see how things play out after it's released and see just how unsafe it is for everyone around it. But my prediction is that it'll probably be pretty horrible, just like all the other trucks on our road. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you've gotten to the very end. I didn't set out to make I just sort of occurred to make a movie like this. So please leave your thoughts in the comments section and let me know whether you think I should keep creating films like this or if I should just remain in my lane and let things happen on its own. I hope I didn't offend any of you large SUV and truck drivers, and I hope you all have a wonderful day till we meet again.